Hey, welcome to Magical Friendships. We didn't agree on that title, but
I accept.
yeah. I'm here with my magical friend, Devin.
I am magical.
and,
Very much so.
And I'm Dustin, the magic agent. Today we're talking about Lorwyn, our experiences at the pre-release, and we're going to be having a discussion about Universes Beyond. This is a really casual conversation between two friends who disagree on almost everything.
Yeah, I don't even know if friends is the right word. Acquaintances?
Yeah. Enemies. Really.
Perhaps. Yeah.
But, Devin, you went to Saturday or Friday?
I went to Friday.
How was it?
I had a lot of fun. I got the Maryland 3-color Sultai the green, blue, black.
Okay.
And she exiles when you played fairies and herself from your opponent's library, and you can play those spells for free, if you have elves or fairies equal to the CMC of that card. And that card is a limited bomb.
Yeah.
Just getting the extra card draw out of your opponent's library when an elf or fairy enters, I was like, hell yeah. So I just jammed as many changelings or fairies or elves into that deck, and I went 3-0.
That's awesome. I didn't know you won.
Well, there were enough people there that 3-0 wasn't technically the win.
Oh, gotcha.
There was like multiple 3-0s.
I think at ours, I went to the one on Sunday. As far as I know, there were only 2 3-0s, and Ryan our friend, got the win because his opponents won more games than the other guys.
Oh, okay. You know what he's playing? Like what deck he put together?
No, he was complaining the whole deck building process. He was like, I got nothing.
Typical Ryan.
He pulled this 2-drop black card. I don't remember the name, but it's like, look at target opponent's hand, choose a non-land card, and they discard it.
I got the rest.
And he got 4 copies of
that. Oh my gosh, just tearing apart the opponent's hand.
Oh yeah, and he was like, this card is what wins me the game because nobody's playing card draw.
Yeah.
So, he was just stopping them from getting their best thing on the board the whole night.
Yeah, and on turn 2, they still have most of their cards in their hand and limited.
Yeah, I ended up building Selesnya. I don't even know that there was a strategy behind it.
Like Kithkin, or what were you doing?
There were Kithkins, but it was really trying to get into building up Hovel Hurler.
What's that card?
So it's a 5-drop, hybrid white-red and 3-colorless.
Okay.
And it enters with 2 -1/-1 counters on it. It's a 6/7, and you pay 2 and remove a counter to give something +1/+0 in flying. And the theme of the deck was try and get a lot of creatures out because there's a lot of enters the battlefield benefits in green-white. But I went 1 and 2, so
not a very good strategy. Not a very good strategy.
I did so much prep before. I was listening to everything.
Oh my god!
No, but then I got to the pre-release.
Tossed it out the window, huh?
So I got to the pre-release. I was like, this guy's throwing like a goblin hut. That's pretty cool. Well, I got 2 copies.
At least, did you have fun?
I did have
fun. That's what matters.
It was actually,
unless you're winning, and that matters more.
Yeah. It was actually the most fun I've had at a Magic event in a long time. And
did you go to Avatar or Final Fantasy pre-releases?
I went to the Final Fantasy pre-release.
Okay.
I thought it was fine. Okay. I don't know Final Fantasy, so the
cards were just really good.
Yeah.
Regardless of the lore and the setting, I think the cards themselves were still really good.
So as somebody who's never played Final Fantasy, I was still able to get the gist of the characters and what they did, and I thought that was really cool. It also opened up a couple different archetypes, the black mages are really cool.
I think that's really dope. The whole non-creature spell ping kind of thing.
Yeah,
that's the gutter snipe combo.
Yeah, that's already a thing, but it just made it easier to do.
Yeah.
So I really like that. But it just didn't feel super magic-y.
Okay.
And we'll get into that later.
Okay.
But let's talk about Lorwyn.
Sure.
Because
you went 1-2.
Yeah.
And did you win your first game, second game, or third game?
I won my second game.
Okay.
And it's because my opponent never showed up.
Oh, man. Your only win was a bye, basically?
He did not drop.
Oh, my
He just
God.
didn't show up. So
you absolutely sucked ass at this prelay.
That's why this is a casual podcast.
People are not going to listen to us.
No.
You.
No.
They might listen to me, but not you.
I'm a commander player.
Did you at least get something good out of the packs?
Yeah, I got
getting any good pulls?
I got a Figure of Fable. I got a Bloom Tender. I got that Changeling that makes a Mutavault token.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I just didn't. I don't know. I felt like the deck was really solid when I was building it, but it was too in the middle of things.
Okay.
Like it wasn't able to
pick a lane and go down it.
Yeah, I wasn't able to hit fast enough, or late game hit hard enough.
Green is kind of a weird archetype for Lorwyn.
One thing I realized was like flying means nothing in this set. There's so much reach in flying. Like,
all right.
I was like, oh, dude, I have so much flying.
Playing the fairies and elves, I had a good bit of flying from the fairy side. Yeah. And I would say that flying at least won me one of my games.
See, like, I did win a couple of games. I just didn't win the rounds.
Sure.
And it just felt like there was always a tree folk or another fairy or, like, maybe it's because I'm bad. But
I love the tree folk.
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited to play a Doran deck.
Yeah.
And Commander.
So, how did you feel about the first in-universe set of the year?
Sure.
Did you play an original Lorwyn?
No, I wasn't in Magic at the time.
Yeah. Have you played with Lorwyn cards?
Oh, sure. Yeah, old Lorwyn cards, yeah.
Yeah, so, like...
They're so, like, compared to Magic's, power crept cards now, they're so out of date that only a few of them are seen.
Yeah, I feel like they have niche things, like there's a lot of elemental support.
Yeah.
It's
the kindred, the tribal, the stuff.
Yeah, and it's a semi-color shifted plane, like you have white merfolk and black goblins, like those things do pop up here and there, but like Lorwyn's kind of where it's more a staple.
Sure.
And so, I see the art of Lorwyn, that it's all hand-drawn and really stylized. Like, it's very peak Magic to me.
Okay.
And I guess now would be kind of a good time to give our opinions on Universes Beyond. Why don't you go first?
You want me to go first?
Yeah. Okay, Tell me how you feel about Universes Beyond.
Sure. I'll try to be technical about it since I know this is going to be a point of contention for us. But I feel like Universes Beyond brings to Magic IPs that I really enjoyed as a kid, as an adult, and just as a nerd in general. And I think those are really pleasurable to see on cards in the way that sometimes, not all the time, sometimes Wizards of the Coast actually makes the lore of that IP match the card. I also feel like Universes Beyond does another thing to draw other people from those IPs into being interested into Magic in some way, shape, or form, whether it's just collecting the cards, whether it's trying the cards at a pre-release, or actually playing the game of Magic in Commander, or Standard, or whatever. And for that reason, I love it. And then I also really enjoy like the secret layers that the Universe Beyond, the ability that they have to just go out and do pretty much anything they want as long as they can get the license for it. On the other side of it, I will say that when they do things like they did with Spider-Man and they fail to get a license on Arena or something, and they have this mixed match of cards, that's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
And it's a failure on their side. But as far as Universes Beyond as a whole, became a huge topic when Lord of the Rings was coming out, and I really loved Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's been a huge topic for a while, but I'm all for it. Send as many universes beyond down the pipe. As the real problem with all the new cards that I take away is the constant power creep to sell cards. That's my biggest gripe with continued development of, and also fast Magic sets. Like there's not enough time between them. But Universes Beyond, sticking to Universes Beyond, I love it.
Yeah, we disagree on a lot. There are some points in there that I can agree with.
Sure.
Like it bringing outside people to Magic. I think that's generally a good thing. I like to play with new people and make new friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been playing Magic since Return to Ravnica pretty consistently.
Okay.
When did you start? I
started in Oath of Gatewatch.
Okay. So not too far.
Not too far. Eldrazi running around.
Yeah. That was my childhood. I've been playing Magic since I was like 10-ish. And I don't know if that math lines up, but anyway. But like,
you've given away your age.
Yeah. That Magic has always been my favorite thing. I have a Nicol Bolas tattoo. I love Magic.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's right here on my arm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Enjoy podcast listeners.
They can't see it.
Nobody's listening anyway. But like,
describe it to them. Don't worry. It's a poorly drawn tattoo on his inner forearm. Whoa. Taking shots. Continue.
Yeah. So, to me, Magic holds a very special place in my heart. Like, I watched Ninja Turtles growing up. I love Lord of the Rings. I've read the books many times, watched the movies many times. And so there's, to me, more Universes Beyond means less Magic. And I think that part of that is we're getting 3 sets this year that are in Universe. And the release window, or the preseason spoilers for Lorwyn were like a week, 2 weeks before release.
Yep.
And during that time, we're hearing about Ninja Turtles. We're getting Ninja Turtles promos in Lorwyn spots.
That was funny. Accident, but funny.
Yeah. Well,
are you going to smirk at me and say that you think that they subtly put those in there as almost a conspiracy theory to try and push people towards Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No.
Hype it up, perhaps?
No,
okay.
I don't believe that.
Okay.
And I think that it's like, are they sweating it too much? Probably not.
I don't think that. I think if they were going to do something like that, it would be a little more obvious. I don't actually think that, but like, there's part of me that's like, ooh, big corporation. Did you actually see anybody that got one of the cards in their
Not personally. I don't think there's a ton of it happening in our area. No, I've seen some people posting pictures of it.
Some distributor along the.
I heard that it was because when they pulled the promos out of Lorwyn, some Ninja Turtles got mixed in. I don't know if that's true.
Can you get in there?
Yeah, no, I don't actually believe that it was intentional.
Gotcha.
But like, we're just not getting much time for Magic.
I don't feel like even before Universes Beyond there was much time in between sets.
Yeah, but to me it was always in Magic, and that the release schedule has always been an issue. Like, people were complaining back when it was the block format that it was too slow, and then it got really fast, and then it's hard to balance, and so I give Wizards a little bit of leverage leeway there. Yeah, but it's really hard for me to get excited about Universes Beyond, even if it's an IP that I enjoy. So my next question is there a sliding scale? Because I've seen some people try and put it to, a level 1 Universe Beyond is like Lord of the Rings and maybe Final Fantasy. I don't know how fantastical that IP is, but just something that fits within Magic. So if you're somebody that's not super familiar with the lore of Magic, you might not be able to tell that these are different things. And the scale slides all the way to Dwight from The Office, SpongeBob, things that have nothing to do with combat, nothing to do with fantasy. Yeah. Do you have any difference of opinion?
I've definitely heard the scale from close fantasy, like the ones like Lord of the Rings, like you were talking, that are probably you could believe this was in Magic. There could be a plane in Magic that is just basically Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Orcs and elves and hobbits and whatnot. And then the other end of the scale, like you said. As for me, I don't really I'm not bothered by either end of the spectrum. I don't need to believe it's in Magic at all, because I don't look at a set really for its lore. I don't, even Lorwyn. The most lore that I know from Lorwyn is probably from the Jim Henson pre-release video.
Awesome. Those were great.
Those were awesome.
I love that.
That is the only reason that I know Lorwyn is a half dark, half light place. Yeah. Before that, couldn't tell you anything about it, which is part of why I know more about the Universes Beyond lore than I do about any Magic lore.
Yeah. And I think that you're probably not...
I'm not alone in that.
Yeah, you're not alone. You might not even be in the minority.
Yeah, I think that might be.
I like watching YouTubers like Magic Arcanum and Ristic Studies that go into the lore and really break down the story, because Magic has amazing, intricate lore that goes back decades and decades. Yeah. And it's gotten less love in the past 10 years. There have been breaks. There have been poorly written stories with political scandal. Yeah, so I don't fault anybody for that. I am of the opinion that Universes Beyond is here to stay. Even though I don't like it, I don't think that it's going anywhere.
It makes money.
Yeah, I hope that the release schedule shifts so that we get more Magic sets in the year. Okay. Or more Magic IP.
What's your ideal ratio? 1-to-1?
I mean, this is where it gets to my ideal is 100% Magic.
No,
but
what's your compromise?
Yeah, I have to be realistic that it makes money.
Yeah, what's your realistic compromise?
If we got 6 sets a year, or 7, because I think we're supposed to have 6, but Spider-Man messed stuff up, so we ended up getting 7 this year. I think 2 out of 6, if they're spaced out. Yeah, so that it's still mostly Magic. But
let me expand upon that a little bit. Yeah. Do you think that in-universe sets produce as much money as Universe Beyond? And I know they have bias, but realistically, do you think? And I know the stats. Yeah. So I'm not gonna spoil that, but do you think that Universes Beyond makes more, or do you think in-set makes more?
At the top end of the scale, Universes Beyond definitely makes more.
Absolutely.
Final Fantasy and Lord of the Rings,
best-selling sets ever
of all time. Then you get to sets like Spider-Man and
one of the worst selling sets.
Assassin's Creed.
Agreed.
It's largely forgotten.
They have hits and they have drops for sure.
Yeah, and it feels like the lows are so much lower and the highs are so much higher with Universes Beyond.
It's like a chase almost.
Yeah, and you also have if you're looking at profitability for Wizards, not necessarily a game
that's
store.
What they're looking at.
Yeah, we don't know how much the licensing fees come into play. How profitable does a Universes Beyond set have to be to balance out what an average set does when you don't have those licensing fees?
Yeah, that's a good point. Does it make it worth it to print an out of and then furthermore, right? You can. There's probably a little bit of cash they have to shell out to get the IP, right? Yeah. That takes from their profits. Mm-hmm. However, does the draw of Universes, the amount of people you bring in, also make a difference between the two, because I feel like there's probably a bigger draw for Universes Beyond bringing people to Magic than there is for insets, because an inset means you probably already know Magic lore, and the lore in that set has probably not done anything different for you.
That, or you have a friend getting you into it,
Maybe,
and, you know, bringing you in. Yeah, I mean, Universes Beyond definitely collects a lot more players, new players.
Yeah.
One thing that I don't see talked about a lot is how many enfranchised players are lost because they're not into Universes Beyond, and they see it as kind of the end of what they thought of as Magic.
Okay.
Because I considered it for a while. Like,
leaving Magic?
Yeah, like I've been committed to Magic most of my life. And then I see things like, you know, I hate to keep going back on Spider-Man and stuff, but like I see things like Spider-Man and, you know, the release schedule being mostly Universes Beyond, and it doesn't feel great if that's the thing that you love. And enfranchised players also spend a lot of money on Magic. I mean,
They absolutely.
You know, so there's a cost there. I think it is probably less than the people that are coming in, but also how long are those people staying in? If you're
retention's a big key there.
If you're a Warhammer guy, and you got into the Warhammer Commander decks, I've seen a lot of those selling on the secondary market because they didn't want Magic, they wanted Warhammer.
Absolutely.
You know.
That said, though, those things sold out real fast.
They did,
and the resale value of those is tremendously good.
Yeah. Is resale value an indicator of overall quality in the set?
I think that it's an indicator of the strength of the cards in the sets. I don't necessarily think that it's an indicator of the desirability of the cards in the set.
Have you heard of the pseudo-reserve list?
No, but I can discern from that that it's probably cards that just don't get printed again.
Yeah, so like think about this. Wizards licenses these products out. We don't have the contract, so we don't know what's in them. But as far as we know, once they print something and it goes out of print, there's no ability to print them again. Like those Warhammer decks might just never get a reprint.
I see what you're saying.
And the singles there might never get a reprint. So are the cards desirable or powerful, or is it just that there's always going to be a scarcity because they're basically reserve list?
I see what you're saying. I do think that there's definitely a scarcity induced by that, and I think that Magic Finance people, the people that just collect this game to resell it, take advantage of that. And I could definitely see people just buying those up because they think they'll never get reprinted, and so the price will slowly go up for the important cards of that set. I mean, let's be honest, 40K Commander decks probably had about 75% useless cards and then like 25% like bombs, right?
Yeah, and they were
cards
still
will never be printed.
Decks,
right,
so.
yeah. But the fact that they had cards in them like the Commander deck we were just playing against, the Termagon or whatever, the Tyranid deck. Some of those cards are really, really good, and it would be nice to have our hands on those for other sets of Magic, or just see one cycle through Standard or something. But the fact that we'll never see that again, and the only way to get a hold of it is through that. I mean, that's part of Magic collecting, period, is that a lot of this scarcity is cards that never get reprinted again.
I think that there is an element of that because we have the actual reserve list, but that's also a pretty antiquated thing. Like Wizards hasn't done anything like that since the reserve list came out, and we get cards that are overlooked for reprints for sure.
Absolutely.
You just can't reprint them all.
Yeah, there's too many cards.
But you know, Wizards tries to reprint things, and I'm really curious if they're going to find a way to reprint. So, like, have you seen the Dungeons and Dragons Secret Lairs where there's a universe in and a universe beyond?
Well, I mean, Spider-Man was that way too.
It was a little different because it wasn't like a
license issue.
Yeah, but also it wasn't like the Dungeons and Dragons cards reference the other card. So it is the same. You can't have a copy of the Universes In and the Universes Out in the same deck, even though they're different names of the cards. So I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that, but also, like, what do you do with something that is type Necron, where it specifically says Necrons on the card?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, because that is licensed, right?
Yeah, there's no way that they can just wiggle that in.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, and it depends on, I don't really know much about when they bought the IP. Did they buy the name Necron for this set? And if so, can they print it later on? They probably had talked about this when they were doing it, but me and you don't know.
Yeah.
We can only guess at it. I don't think, we're not at a point in Magic yet with a card old enough that it's become like sort of a Mox or a Black Lotus or anything where it's skyrocketed because of its scarcity, but is also the most powerful version of something. So I don't think we've started to see anything like that yet.
What do you think about, like, Sephiroth, like the warp foil or whatever they call it, Sephiroth, that, like, is the most powerful aristocrat, or at least, like, has it's got an emblem, which we haven't seen, you know? I think that I can look it up.
I think it's powerful, but we're not far enough away from it for that scarcity to be induced.
Yeah, but let me see. I'll pull it up right now and see if I can figure out how much that is.
I mean, it's super expensive. All the crazy alt art versions of the Final Fantasy best cards are crazy expensive.
Yeah, so that one is $588.
That's
the base copy right now is $25. So there is something to be said about you don't need the nicest version, for sure.
Yeah.
But once Final Fantasy goes out of print, you know, what happens to the price of that card? Where it is the best in class. Does it creep up over time to the point where, it's an $80 card again? Because the base copy was over $100 for a while.
Well, here's the thing, though. With that specific effect, Blood Artist, right? This is a really desirable card because it was the best of its kind. And then slowly the power creep of Magic brought in Sephiroth. And I don't think that it'll be 5-10 years down the road before we'll see another version of Sephiroth, but better. Because that is the creep of Magic and how they keep those old cards cycling out.
Yeah, so you think that power creep is a part of the game and it's going to happen whether or not we're in universe or outside.
I think that Sephiroth will go up until we see the next best sack outlet, and then it'll plummet.
So let me ask this. Do you think that Wizards is going to push Universes Beyond sets to a higher power level faster because they know that there's appeal there? And if they just make the best cards in the set that's the most appealing, it's gonna mean that enfranchised players have to get that set because it's good. New players are coming in and they're expecting these amazing cards. I think that there's real incentive for Wizards to say, yeah, we're just gonna take our best designs. Of course, I know they're game designers and I don't think that they're actually going to do that.
Sure.
But like they could theoretically just say, it's going to make us more money if we put the power level a notch higher on this set.
So, yes and no, right? I think that they will see sets like Spider-Man fail horrendously, and they'll say, why did it? They'll look at reasons why it failed, and one of the biggest reasons why it failed is because the set was weak as fuck.
Yeah.
The cards were not good.
Yeah.
The IP was popular, but like the Soul Stone is the most desirable thing out of the whole set.
Yeah.
And it's because it's a 2-mana indestructible artifact, and it's a Soul Stone.
Yeah. So I think that's a good example, though. Like that is for 2-mana rocks. That's probably one of the best out there. It's the chase of the set, you know.
Yeah, and it has a cool extra effect.
Yeah, like but the One Ring is another example.
Yeah.
Like they're putting these sorts of cards into Universes Beyond. Where
and I don't disagree with you, but my point was, I think you're giving them a little too much credit by saying, okay, the decision maker for making these cards the way that they are is all left up to like one team, and that's no. I don't think it's that cohesive, and I don't think it'll be that easily flourished out. What I think will happen is, marketing's going around saying, oh, this IP will be popular, this IP will be popular, this IP, and then they kind of hand it off to game designers to fill in those cracks of the cards. Yeah. And I think the game designers look at the set, and I've already heard they're giving out a directive of like, hey, this is going to be a powerful set, or this is going to be a medium set, and then they start building that way. I think that the thing that draws people in, like Lord of the Rings and Final Fantasy, the way that they exploded like they did, is because you have a combination of, somebody decided along the line, this is going to be a powerful set, because there's the One Ring, but there's also, Lord of the Rings just had a lot of powerful cards. There's also the serialized One Ring, which is like the big card in Magic history. Yeah, that's another thing that I don't know if you want to talk about today, but serialized cards are like Willy Wonka's golden ticket shit. Yeah. And that part of whether it be in-set or Universes Beyond, I am not here for. Really? Yeah. I think it's neat to have that sort of thing, but I also think that it's turning collector boosters, which are the gambling side of Magic, basically, into Pokemon, and I'm not here to see it. I do not want to see that. I don't think that I would have expected that, honestly. Yeah, I'm for Universes Beyond. I like all those cool ideas, but I don't like that buying a collector booster is just straight gambling over a play booster. That's interesting. Yeah, I am not. I buy singles. I've been in the game long enough to where like I've wasted so much money on packs. Like I've learned my lesson for the most part. If I'm opening up a pack, it's because I want commons and uncommons from that set. I want to experience it, you know, like there are sets that I skip out on packs entirely because I just don't want those cards. But I don't like the collector mentality as well, and this is coming from somebody who has $100 cards, $1,000 cards. Literally playing with a Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, like I'm invested in Magic. Absolutely. But I buy singles, you know, and they go up over time usually. Like I paid $300 for my Masterpiece Soul Ring. I paid $90 for my Wheel of Fortune, you know, which at the time was still very high. But it's a different level when you get to these special collectors items, like $2 million for the One Ring, you know. But anyway. And then the Golden Chocobo shortly after. Yeah. And they're only doing that stuff for Universes Beyond. That's not true. Lorwyn has serialized cards. They do have serialized cards, but it's nowhere near the same level. Like the Golden Chocobo was what, 30,000 or something? I mean, I agree that they're less, but they're still trying to incorporate it. Yeah, but they're not. As far as I know, Lorwyn has one serialized card. I could be totally wrong, but I think it's Bitter Blossom Bearer is the only serialized card. And, you know, they're just not doing it the same. So I don't know if they don't think that they can get the return because they think the demand isn't there for in-universe stuff, or if it just feels that way because I don't buy collector's boosters. I bought one collector's booster, and it was Edge of Eternity, and it was because I wanted to support the store that I was in, but didn't really want to buy anything. So I was like, you know what, $35, sure, you know? Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. I don't think we've seen the last of we've seen the last of serialized chase cards. No. I think they had so much success with the One Ring that will happen. The whole Willy Wonka one of one thing, that will also happen again. I don't know what it's going to be. But I think that they know that draw will make people buy cards they would not have typically bought. Yeah, collector's booster sales skyrocket. Absolutely. And I mean, people, you know, it's kind of like buying a lottery ticket, right? Like, if you managed to find that, sure, you were making a lot of money. And somebody did, but I don't know. that sort of like gambling means that people that just buy singles, right? I'm never going to have access to the really cool looking versions of the base cards that I get out of play boosters because I'm not willing to spend 10, 20, even 30 times the amount of a base card to get the cool version. But typically for me, the only time I want to get those cool versions is when I'm tricking out a deck or I'm making it the commander. And those are going to be just priced out of, I don't want to spend that much on them. And so the reason I'm downing on that is that I can no longer, it causes the price of those collector boosters to just skyrocket. The resale market of those collector boosters is insane. We've got the whole forced scarcity because scalpers are just buying out the stock, which is what we see in Pokemon.
The only good thing that came out of Spider-Man was it scared off so many of those
some
people.
Scalpers just disappeared because people wouldn't buy the resale collector boosters. And Lorwyn 2 collector boosters are already sold out because those are actually desirable. And I mean, it's the whole PlayStation 5 when it first came out, you couldn't get one for a whole year because people just bought them back to back and resold them. And I think it's bullshit, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm tired of reselling, and I'm, as we've talked about, I'm a capitalist. I support capitalism, but also I hate consumerism, where it's just taking advantage of people and spending so much money on nothing. I think it's bad for the game for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, all of the things that we've been talking about have been sets in standard. What are your opinions on secret lairs? Should they go more outlandish on those? And is that the place for that?
So I really do enjoy secret lairs. I think that it was an early way for them to start branching out, even before they started, University Beyond and stuff. I don't know when secret lairs started, but the fact that they can pick really just anything they want to do, and either make it cards they've already printed with new skins, which is a cool way to reprint cards.
I agree.
Let's be honest.
It's targeted. It's easy to make it accessible.
It's here's a cool Soul Ring in your favorite IP or whatever.
I think Secret Lairs as a reprint engine are a phenomenal solution when they're implemented well.
I do think that you see the kind of induced scarcity in a secret lair if it's a card that's never been printed before. It's a brand new card. I recently got the God of War one, and Kratos, the 3-mana red Kratos is worth more than the whole secret lair itself because you can't get it. It's basically unpurchasable now. And the only way to get it is resale market, which is, skyrocketing, right? I think secret lairs are also a thing where they'll be sold out immediately, and you can't get one unless you're sitting in that line to grab them.
And it's got its own issues with getting in.
But as far as just the cards, right, and the idea of being able to force reprints and do all kinds of weird shit, I think that's a great avenue. I just wish I didn't have to sit at my computer at 5 a.m. fighting scalpers.
I think that's a big issue. And back when they started, I could be wrong, but I remember, I think they all used to be print to demand. And that was the thing was if you want it, you can get it.
And that kept scalpers out. Because they knew that you could just go to the website, and until from this date to this date, they'll have purchases available. And they're going to print that many. What Wizards has switched to now is, they say because of delivery, right? They want it to be ordered and delivered within 1 week or something. But really what they're doing is they're okay, we've seen what people will print to demand. Now let's just make that many and say we're only going to print this many, and then even more people will want them, so they'll be purchased.
Fear of missing out is real, and
yeah.
it does increase sales when you say something is limited time.
Correct. And so they know that, right? And so scalpers see that coming into place, and now they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah. So moving past all the issues with getting your hands on secret layers, right?
Yeah. I love it.
What secret layers have you bought?
Oh my goodness. I have personally purchased the SpongeBob. I've got Horizon. I've got The Last of Us. I have God of War. I bought the Furby secret layer. I have. I've even bought like the metal secret layer. It's like where they're basically all targeted removal, but they're in the most metal, like glass breaking cards, and it's like Decimate and Anguished Unmaking.
Yeah.
It's like really metal looking cards.
Yeah.
I've even got some old secret layers. Even before they started to get crazy with them.
Yeah.
Those are fun. I have all 5 of the Godzilla lands. I literally, if I see a if I see a secret layer that I enjoy, I'm gonna buy it. Because one thing I've noticed about secret layers, if it's desirable at all, after it's done printing, it will just go up in value.
Yeah,
you're not losing money on secret layers.
Yeah, I definitely see the value to that, and I've bought secret layers just because I think that they'll go up. I'm not.
Sonic is another one I bought.
Yeah, I'm not a frequent purchaser of secret layers. I've bought the Phyrexian Praetors because I wanted those. I love Phyrexian stuff. I bought the Maronar Year of the Rat secret layer. I bought one of the Theros Gods secret layers, and I bought the Sonic the Hedgehog secret.
Yeah.
Now, this is where, I've been saying the whole time, like, I'm not a Universes Beyond guy.
Right.
That secret layer had mechanically unique cards that I wanted the mechanics of. And so, I was kind of pigeonholed into, if I want this effect,
you gotta buy it.
I have to buy this product. And I don't love that.
Sure.
And I know that I'm probably in the minority there, but like, I got the card. I wanted it for Shadow, by the way. That was the chase for me.
Yeah. The CDH.
Yeah. And then I just when I got it in person, I looked at it and I was like, I'm not gonna play this. Number one, it's so spiky, and that's just not how I play. But number two, I just wasn't interested in Sonic, and it's like, I think it was part of the FOMO. Like, if I can't get this secret layer, then, I miss out on this mechanically unique commander. Yeah. Devin's pulling out his...
I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
I have made 2 commander decks out of the secret layers, both Knuckles and Dr. Eggman.
Yeah, and so, what do you think about mechanically unique cards in secret layers?
I think, I think that those will not be reprinted. Unless it's in a secret layer that specifically reprints old secret layers, which they have done already. There are some that go back and reprint those, so I think they have the chance to.
Yeah.
But we won't see them again, most likely. And I think the rare effect that some of those have is really fun for people that enjoy that secret layer, like people that are into Sonic.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to be off the wall.
Dude, they loved it.
They've got 5 unique commanders in set. And in a secret layer, and almost all the colors I think all the colors are covered.
Is there anything in green?
I mean, not Knuckles. I think Sonic is in green.
No, Sonic's Jessica.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, so then
Amy's red white.
She is, and then Tails is blue white. So maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, almost all the colors then.
Yeah. Not the best color. We can leave that up. But I want to, since we're on the topic, just wrap up with this.
Sure.
I am not a fan of Universes Beyond.
I know.
And I don't want other people to think that that means I don't want them to play the cards that they enjoy. Like, I play against people with Universes Beyond stuff. I have some in my deck because, hey, this is a powerful, unique effect that really goes with the deck, and I kind of got to eat it on that one. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to not play against somebody because they're playing Secret Lair. And I wish it didn't exist.
I mean, theoretically, if they made a card in Universe that was the same, and you had the opportunity to buy it, would you run all of those instead of the Secret Lair?
Absolutely.
And then would you be more okay with the Secret Lair if they did that?
Yeah, no. If there was an in-universe option, I would have zero reason to complain.
Okay.
You know? Like, that's kind of
What
why...
if they go down the road and they start reprinting in that way because they no longer own the IP to print Sonic?
I would be all over that. And that's one thing about Spider-Man that, like, it was a fiasco. But
Such a disaster.
if they had done a print run of the Through the Omen Pass variant of that, I would have bought that. I did not buy a single pack of Spider-Man. I would have bought Through the Omen Pass because I like the legendary creatures. I like the magic IP. Like, you know, it's just what I like. And I don't think that there is... I don't think that there's any downside to doing it that way other than it costs money to print cards. So you have to know that it's
double cards, basically.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily need to do an even print run and all that. Like, it could be like a collector's booster thing where it's like, you can get the in-universe variants, or that could be the Secret Lairs, the in-universe stuff.
Yeah.
But, all right, last question.
Okay.
Then we're done.
Okay.
So, for me, it's going to be opposite, right?
Okay.
If there is one IP that you want to stay out of Magic, you do not think that it's a good idea,
that's a hard one.
What would it be? And I'll ask myself the opposite. If there's one IP I could bring to Magic, what would it be?
One IP that I want to stay out of Magic.
Yeah, if there is one.
That's a rough one. I really don't have a problem with a lot of IPs. I guess I'm really not into anime, but they've already included Final Fantasy, and it did really well. So I'm kind of open to most anime now, just in general in Magic. I can't say I have one that comes to mind. I'm literally well, I mean, is that an IP, though? Are they an IP, or are they just people?
I mean, is Dwight from The Office?
It is an IP. It's an office. Yeah. It's The Office. That is an IP.
Yeah, but it's like a reality TV show. Like, people joked about SpongeBob, and now it's in there. Like, you know, I think if they did specific people, sure. I guess that would kind of be weird, right? Yeah. Like, I think you would start hedging into like lawsuits, though, and that's kind of not what they want. They would stay away from that. Well, they'd have to get permission and everything.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine like a Rugrats IP? That would be so dope. Or like
for a Secret Lair, that's not. Or
like
enough
a Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
that'd be dope as hell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have anything that comes to mind that I would just be like, ew, that's disgusting. Why would they print that? No, I'm on board with just about anything they want to throw, and if it's cool and I like it, I'll buy it. If it's not, I'll let it slide. Disgusting. It doesn't bother me. What about you?
I mean, I mentioned this in the group chat before, but I think that there is one IP that if they brought it in, I would have to get it if they did it well, and that's Naruto. Okay. Have you ever watched Naruto?
Anime?
Yeah. Have you ever watched Naruto or read it?
Only briefly, no.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge anime.
Yeah, I used to be. I'm not super into it anymore, but the reason why I say Naruto is you basically have ninja wizards running around with different types of jutsu and special abilities, and like there's lightning style, there's wind style, there's earth style. It could very easily be translated into colors.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm on board.
Yeah, and you also have like in Secret Lairs they tend to do, or not Secret Lairs, Universes Beyond, they tend to do like, here's 3 versions of the same character. Well, you could have Kid Naruto, Teen Naruto, Adult Naruto, and for all the characters, you know.
Right.
But it's a large enough universe to where it wouldn't feel forced like Spider-Man, where you're getting literally like 10 copies of the same guy.
I get what they were trying to do with the whole universes beyond or multiverse with Spider-Man. They just didn't do it well.
Yeah, I mean, when every card is spiders and heroes, like get +1/+1. It's like okay, there's a dinosaur swinging on a web now.
Dino. Yeah. And I mean, it's canon, right? There's a comic of that, but they just didn't do it well. And none of the cards were powerful enough to compete with anything that's already in standard. So people were just like, why would I get those cards? Yeah. I have this standard deck that will beat everything in that set.
Yeah. Well, Devin, thank you for being my magical friend.
You're welcome. Thank you for being my friend.
Oh, not magical.
You can be magical.
Okay.
Yeah, you can be my magical friend.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. Anything you want to plug before we get out?
Nope. Have a good week.
All right. Have a good one.